Hello, YouTube members. It's Jason, the creator of Jason'sVideoGameSource.com, and I got another membership video off the cuffs, no editing, no scripts, of a game called Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, which is a indie western Skyrim, Oblivion. A lot of choice agency, a lot of content too. I'm gonna basically get into the ins and outs of this game, the review of it. So this game was developed by I'm sorry here, Questfine or Questline. I'm sorry, Questline, and it came out March 30th for the Xbox Series X, PC, and PlayStation 5. This is an indie game. A lot of people on YouTube like, hey, you don't play enough indie. Well, this is an indie game. Okay, this is the indie game I'm reviewing. But it's ambitious. This is probably one of the most ambitious Western RPG indie games I ever played. I ran through the game on the main quest and interconnected side quests for about 30 hours. I was trying to, because I play so many games. I just don't have time to spend 150 hours on this game. But I believe you could spend upwards of 150, 200 hours on this game due to the player agency, due to so many quests. It's very lengthy. Now, let's start with the bad part of this game. It's rough. I was about to give it a 7.5 because of how rough it is with the bugs, the glitches, the NPCs moonwalking. But this game also had a very funny side quest where I thought was a bug, but it wasn't. You're supposed to get this guy who was doing the famous bugged T-pose. NPCs doing these Western RPGs. But it was supposed to happen, and you're supposed to get this guy, get a druid named... forgot his name, but you're supposed to get a druid to make a potion for him to stop the T-pose. So I think they're self-aware of the bugs and glitches, especially as you get further into the end of the game. There are 3 acts. Like I said, it's a pretty long game with a lot of NPCs. Random NPCs give you quests. It's that type of game. I would like to compare this, but it's not fair to compare it to like the Bethesda big marketing, big budget games like Skyrim and Oblivion. It has a lot of that DNA, but it's just rough as hell. As you see, NPCs, the summoning spawns nonstop in front of you. I think they should spawn behind you, so I don't see that shit. But story-wise, it's about collecting King Arthur's pieces of his soul, basically, and it's so much choice. You can either help save Camelot or not save Camelot. Think of every choice you can make in a Western RPG. It's basically in this game, Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. It's just very rough. The cutscenes were pretty ugly, the animations, and a lot of jank. Gameplay, what I loved about the gameplay is the agency. I literally played as a battle mage, a summoner, and I played with dual wielding weapons, and I also played as two-handed weapons, all at once, flipping. I could be fighting a bear, and I could flip as a summoner, as a dual wielder, as a battle mage, and two-handed weapon all at once. So the player agency, the leveling up, the more you use something, the more you level it up. It's all in the game. That's just how the game is. It's very Skyrimish. People also like to compare this to Avowed. I'll probably give this and Avowed the same score when it's all said and done. I can't remember. I'm not even sure if I reviewed Avalon on my website, but I will give Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon an 8 because of the ambitiousness, the agency, but it is rough as all hell. Like I said again, I was very close to giving it a 7.5 just because of how rough it is. But I did complete the game, and I did get one of the many endings that the developer claimed you could get many different endings. I liked it. I really liked it, but it is rough, and it does need a lot of patching, a lot of work and stuff. You can't beat the player agency. You can't beat the organicness of acquiring quests, acquiring weapons, leveling up, how you want to play the game. If you're a big fan of the King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, Avalon lore, this is part of a series of the Avalon video games, so it is actually part of a series of games. I think this is the second one. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but combat is fun. It's so flexible. There's so many different type of spell combinations, summoning that you could do. If you could think of it, you could level it up and play as it. The game's combat difficulty is a little uneven. It's janky. It's very uneven and janky at times, so you got to be careful with that. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, it's a solid indie game. Western indie game. I mean, if you don't care about the roughness and jank of a Western, RPG, and you love, the Bethesda style of games and the choice, the agency, and the randomness of it, this is a solid game to get. I really believe that. I believe it was $39.99 too, by the way. I buy all the games I review. I buy all the games, out of my own money and everything. So I have no horses in this race. So that I play every game. I hope every game is great, but that's just not the case. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon an 8. I'm sorry, an 8, a low 8. This isn't a high 8. This is a low 8. Okay, it's rough, but I'm thinking to give it an 8 out of 10. So. And as far as memorable quests and NPCs, the writing. The writing is really good in this game, actually. Now, the voice acting, they don't have the budget for great voice acting and great animation, I guess. It's just, that was low. But the writing and the amount of writing and the amount of dialogue in this game is truly, truly ambitious for an indie title. So I got to give this dev a lot of respect for that. The dungeons are deep, There's plenty of dungeons that you could get lost in for hours, and they're pretty designed in a nice, way of discovering items and fighting monsters. There's cutscenes for bosses and stuff that you encounter and everything. Like I said, if you want a Western RPG that's below budget wise of Oblivion or Skyrim, I would definitely check out Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. You could put 150, 200 hours into this solo. This is a true solo game where you could just put a lot of time, a lot of exploration, and but it's rough. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to point out here? The story I thought was pretty good. Like I said, it's about resurrecting King Arthur. You're dealing with different factions, and you're helping different areas. There's 3 different maps that are across 3 different acts, 1, 2, 3 acts. But they use loading screens to input the maps and stuff. But to me, it's an open world RPG. It's not truly open world RPG, Western RPG, but to me, it's an open world RPG with a lot of choice agency. That's rough. I'm gonna keep saying that because I like janky games. I like rough games, but this one, wow, it's pretty rough. But I'm still going to give it a high score because of the choice agency in the combat, the choice player agency in the quests and the writing. That's why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, really. The dungeons, the exploration, the moment to moment, the music didn't really stand out that much to me. The sound design was all over the place. The sound, by the way, I play this on the Xbox Series X. The sound design was pretty much all over the place. The music wasn't that bad. It was okay at certain points. I turned off the copyrighted music, but it was pretty good. But rough. I'm going to keep saying rough. I mean, it's a rough-ass game. So that's about it. Make sure you check out Jason's Video Game Source 24/7 live stream. You can also go to jasonsvideogamesource.com to look at written reviews and the live stream and all the gameplay videos. All the channels I created over the decade, all the videos I created over the decade are all on my website, so make sure you check it out. Also check out my brother's brand, Bobby Vegas Gaming, if you get a moment. But yeah, this is for you, YouTube members. Until the next one, later, peace.